Have you ever found yourself wondering why some people seem to sail past their 80th birthday, full of life, laughter, and an incredible sparkle in their eyes, while others, perhaps even those who seemed perfectly healthy, don't quite make it that far? It's a question that gently nags at many of us, especially as we navigate our own journey through the later chapters of life. It's a tough truth to face, but for many, hitting that 80-year mark can feel less like a triumphant milestone and more like encountering a quiet, invisible wall. We might see friends, family members, or even notice in ourselves a subtle but persistent decline, a gradual dimming of that vibrant energy, a quiet retreat from the effortless joy we once knew. And often, we just sigh and accept it as getting old, a natural consequence of time marching on. But what if I told you there's so much more to it than just the ticking clock? What if there are surprising, often overlooked reasons? Silent culprits that subtly chip away at our longevity and quality of life, long before we even notice the real impact. What if the path to a vibrant life well into your 90s and beyond isn't about some magic pill, but about understanding these hidden factors? In this video, we're going to uncover 5 truly surprising reasons why so many seniors don't live past 80, and even more importantly, what simple, powerful steps you can start taking today to rewrite your own story and unlock a future filled with more health, more energy, and more joy than you might currently imagine. Stay with me until the very end, because I promise you, there's something waiting for you that will truly surprise you. Something that could be the key to unlocking years of vibrant, joyful living. Let's dive right into the first surprising reason, one that often hides in plain sight, subtly eroding our health and vitality without us even realizing it's happening. This first reason is what I call the silent killer of social disconnection. Now, you might be thinking, I'm not lonely, I have my family, or I prefer my own company. But this isn't just about being physically alone. It's about feeling a lack of meaningful connection, a sense of purpose within a community, a feeling of being genuinely seen and valued by others. Imagine, for a moment, a beautiful plant that is placed in a dimly lit room, away from the sunlight, and barely watered. Over time, it withers, not from a sudden disease, but from a gradual lack of nourishment. Our human spirit is very much the same. When we retreat, even subtly, from social engagement, when our conversations become less frequent, when the easy laughter with friends becomes a distant memory, our bodies and minds begin to suffer. Studies have actually shown that chronic loneliness and social isolation can be as detrimental to our health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day or being obese. Think about that for a moment. It impacts our immune system, making us more susceptible to illness. It can increase inflammation in the body, which we'll talk more about in a moment. It affects our sleep quality, our memory, and significantly elevates our risk for depression and anxiety. It can even lead to a faster cognitive decline. We are fundamentally wired for connection, for belonging, for contributing. When that fundamental need isn't met, our entire system starts to struggle. The good news is, this is entirely within your control to change. It's about taking intentional steps, even small ones, to reweave yourself into the fabric of human connection. Perhaps it's picking up the phone and calling an old friend you haven't spoken to in ages, just to say hello and reminisce. Maybe it's seeking out new opportunities in your community, joining a book club, a walking group, a local senior center, or a volunteer organization. Think about what truly lights you up. Do you love animals? Volunteer at a shelter? Do you enjoy teaching? Offer to mentor someone? Do you have a hobby you could share, like knitting or gardening? Look for groups that share that passion. One lovely lady I know, Sarah, found herself feeling quite isolated after her husband passed. She loved to read, but found herself just staying home. One day, her daughter encouraged her to look into a local book club at the library. Sarah was hesitant. But she went. And what she found was not just a group of people discussing books, but a vibrant community of new friends who shared stories, laughter, and support. It transformed her outlook, and she often says it literally brought her back to life. It's about being proactive, stepping out of your comfort zone just a little bit, and letting yourself be open to new connections. Remember, connection isn't just a nice to have. It's a biological imperative for a long, healthy, and happy life. Now, let's move on to our second surprising reason why so many seniors don't live past 80, and this one is often completely invisible, yet profoundly damaging: the underestimated impact of chronic low-grade inflammation. When we hear the word inflammation, we usually think of a sprained ankle, red and swollen, or an infected cut. That's acute inflammation, your body's immediate protective response, and it's a good thing. But there's a sneaky, persistent type of inflammation that's much more insidious: chronic low-grade inflammation. Imagine a tiny, smoldering fire deep inside your body, not big enough to cause immediate pain or obvious symptoms, but constantly releasing harmful compounds that silently damage your cells, tissues, and organs over time. This internal fire is a major contributor to almost every age-related disease we fear: heart disease, Alzheimer's, arthritis, type 2 diabetes, certain cancers, and even depression. It quietly erodes your health, accelerating the aging process and making you more vulnerable. So, what causes this hidden fire? Our modern lifestyle plays a huge role. Things like a diet high in processed foods, sugar, refined grains, and unhealthy fats can constantly trigger this inflammatory response. Chronic stress, poor sleep, a lack of regular movement, and even that social isolation we just discussed can fan the flames. Many people live with this low-grade inflammation for years, dismissing subtle aches, persistent fatigue, or brain fog as just getting old, when in fact, their body is screaming for help. The good news is, you have immense power to douse this internal fire. It starts with what you put on your plate. Focus on an anti-inflammatory diet. Think vibrant, colorful fruits and vegetables, berries, leafy greens, broccoli, bell peppers. Load up on healthy fats like those found in avocados, olive oil, and fatty fish like salmon, which are rich in omega-3s. Incorporate nuts and seeds, whole grains, and lean proteins. Try to significantly reduce processed foods, sugary drinks, fried foods, and excessive amounts of red meat. It's about nourishing your body with foods that heal, rather than harm. Beyond diet, stress management is crucial. Even 5 minutes of deep breathing, gentle stretching, or simply spending time in nature can help calm your nervous system and reduce inflammation. Prioritizing quality sleep, as we'll discuss more in a moment, is also incredibly important. Consistent, restful sleep allows your body to repair and reset, reducing inflammatory markers. And gentle, consistent movement, not just strenuous exercise, but simply moving your body throughout the day, helps keep the inflammatory response in check. Think of Joan, a spry woman in her late 70s who struggled with persistent joint aches and brain fog. She attributed it all to age. After learning about inflammation, she made simple changes, swapping her morning toast for a berry and spinach smoothie, adding more leafy greens to her meals, and taking a mindful walk each day. Within weeks, her joint pain lessened, and she felt a noticeable lift in her mental clarity. It's a testament to how profoundly simple dietary and lifestyle shifts can impact this silent killer. Now that we've shed some light on the hidden dangers of social disconnection and chronic inflammation, let's turn our attention to another powerful, often overlooked factor that profoundly determines how long and how well we live. And this one might surprise you because it's not about your body at all, but about your mind. This is our third surprising reason: giving up on new challenges and learning. Think of your brain like a muscle. Just as your biceps or quadriceps need to be consistently challenged to stay strong, Your brain needs constant stimulation, novelty, and learning to maintain its agility, memory, and cognitive function. Unfortunately, many of us, as we get older, fall into comfortable routines. We stick to familiar activities, read the same types of books, watch the same TV shows, and avoid anything that feels too mentally demanding. We might tell ourselves we've learned enough, or that our brains aren't as sharp as they used to be. So why bother? But this mindset, this mental stagnation, is incredibly detrimental. When we stop actively engaging in new learning or problem solving, the neural pathways in our brains can weaken, and our cognitive abilities can decline faster than necessary. It's not just about doing a daily crossword puzzle, though those are good. It's about genuinely stretching your mind, pushing past what's easy and comfortable, and embracing the joy of discovery, a sense of purpose, a feeling that there's still more to learn and achieve, is a powerful antidote to cognitive decline. So, what can you do? The possibilities are endless and exciting. Consider learning a new skill you've always been curious about. Have you always wanted to play a musical instrument? It's never too late to pick up a guitar or learn the piano. How about learning a new language, even just a few phrases a day? There are many free apps and online resources that make it incredibly accessible. Perhaps you'd enjoy taking up painting, pottery, or creative writing. These activities engage different parts of your brain and foster creativity. Even simpler, get curious about subjects you know little about. Read non-fiction books on history, science, or philosophy. Attend local lectures or workshops on new topics. Volunteer for something that requires you to think and problem solve, like organizing an event or helping with a community project. One gentleman I know, David, was feeling a bit bored and restless in his mid-70s. He'd always loved gardening but limited himself to the same few plants. One day, he decided to tackle learning about hydroponics, growing plants without soil. It was a completely new challenge for him, involving research, problem solving, and a lot of trial and error. David often laughs, saying it made his brain feel like it was waking up again. The mental stimulation, the joy of a new accomplishment, and the purpose it gave him were invaluable. Remember, keeping your mind active and open to new experiences is a cornerstone of living a long, vibrant, and intellectually stimulating life. Don't ever tell yourself you're too old to learn something new. Your brain is always ready for a fresh challenge. Moving on to our fourth surprising reason, one that is often dismissed as simply part of getting older, but whose impact on our longevity and vitality is absolutely profound. Believing poor sleep is just part of aging. How many times have you heard someone say, or perhaps even said yourself, "Oh, I just don't sleep like I used to. It's normal when you get older." While it's true that our sleep patterns can change somewhat with age, we might experience lighter sleep or wake more frequently, consistently poor. Unrefreshing sleep is absolutely not a normal or healthy part of aging. In fact, it's a silent drain on our health, acting as a powerful accelerator of aging and disease. When you don't get consistent, deep, restorative sleep, your body and brain simply don't have the chance to repair, clean out waste products, or consolidate memories. This leads to a cascade of negative effects your memory suffers, making you more prone to forgetfulness and even increasing your risk for cognitive decline. Your immune system weakens, leaving you more vulnerable to infections. Your mood can plummet, increasing your risk for anxiety and depression. Your energy levels are consistently low, making you less likely to engage in physical activity. And that chronic low-grade inflammation we just talked about, poor sleep, actively fuels it. It also impacts your metabolism, increasing the risk of weight gain and type 2 diabetes, and can even contribute to cardiovascular problems. So, if poor sleep isn't normal, what can you do to reclaim those precious hours of rest? The good news is, there are many simple, effective strategies you can implement. First and foremost, prioritize sleep. Make it a non-negotiable part of your daily routine. Just like eating or taking medication. Try to establish a consistent sleep schedule. Go to bed and wake up at roughly the same time every day, even on weekends. This helps regulate your body's natural sleep-wake cycle. Next, optimize your bedroom environment. Make it a sanctuary for sleep. Dark, quiet, and cool. Block out any light. Consider earplugs if noise is an issue, and ensure the temperature is comfortable. Develop a relaxing wind-down routine in the hour before bed. This means no screens, no TV, tablets, or phones, as the blue light can interfere with melatonin production. Instead, try reading a physical book, listening to calming music, taking a warm bath, or doing some gentle stretching or meditation. Be mindful of what you consume. Limit caffeine and alcohol, especially in the late afternoon and evening, as both can disrupt sleep. Avoid heavy meals close to bedtime. And finally, if despite all your efforts, sleep issues persist, please don't hesitate to consult your doctor. Conditions like sleep apnea, restless leg syndrome, or certain medications can severely impact sleep and are often treatable. Consider the story of Eleanor, who had accepted her fragmented sleep as just how it is. She'd wake up multiple times a night and feel groggy all day. After learning about the importance of sleep, she started a consistent bedtime routine, making her bedroom pitch black and cutting out evening coffee. Within weeks, she noticed a remarkable difference in her energy, her mood, and even her ability to recall memories. She often says that getting good sleep feels like she's gained back years of her life. Reclaiming restorative sleep is one of the most powerful gifts you can give yourself for long-term health and vitality. Next, we'll dive into our fifth and final surprising reason, one that many seniors overlook, often focusing on other forms of activity while neglecting this absolutely vital component of longevity and independence. Neglecting resistance training and muscle preservation. When we talk about staying active as we age, the first thing that often comes to mind is walking. And walking is wonderful, truly fantastic for cardiovascular health, mood, and getting around. But here's the surprising truth: walking alone is not enough to maintain muscle mass. And losing muscle as we age, a condition known as sarcopenia, is a silent epidemic that significantly impacts how long and how well we live. Imagine your body as a strong, well-built house. As you age, if you don't actively maintain the structural beams, your muscles, they slowly start to decay, becoming thinner and weaker. This isn't just about looking fit, it's about fundamental strength for daily life. When you lose muscle, you lose power, balance, and the ability to perform everyday tasks with ease, like lifting groceries, getting up from a chair, or climbing stairs. This loss of independence is a major factor in the decline of quality of life and actually increases the risk of falls, which can be devastating for older adults. Furthermore, muscle is metabolically active tissue, meaning it helps your body burn calories and regulate blood sugar. Less muscle means a slower metabolism and a higher risk of conditions like type 2 diabetes. It also impacts your bone density, making bones weaker and more prone to fractures. Many seniors focus solely on cardio because it feels safer or easier, but overlooking resistance training is a critical mistake that can accelerate frailty and limit your potential for a long, active life. The good news is, it's never too late to start rebuilding and preserving your muscle mass. Even small amounts of consistent resistance training can make a remarkable difference. You don't need a fancy gym or heavy weights. You can start right at home with just your body weight or simple resistance bands. Think about exercises like chair squats, where you sit down and stand up from a chair repeatedly. Wall push-ups are excellent for upper body strength. Lifting light hand weights, or even cans of soup, can build arm strength. Resistance bands are fantastic for working various muscle groups and are very gentle on joints. The key is consistency and gradual progression. Start with what feels comfortable, even if it's just a few repetitions, and slowly increase as you get stronger. Aim for 2 to 3 sessions of resistance training per week. In addition to direct strength exercises, ensure you're getting enough protein in your diet, as protein is the building block of muscle. Lean meats, fish, eggs, dairy, beans, and lentils are all great sources. And don't forget balance exercises, like standing on one leg while holding onto a counter, or practicing Tai Chi or yoga, which further enhance stability and reduce fall risk. Consider the inspiring story of Robert, who, in his early 80s, found himself struggling to open jars and feeling generally weak. He loved his daily walks but realized he needed more. He started with simple bodyweight exercises, doing chair squats while watching TV and wall push-ups every morning. Slowly, he added light dumbbells. Within months, he was not only stronger, but felt more confident and balanced on his walks. And everyday tasks became effortless again. He genuinely believes that focusing on his strength has given him a new lease on life, enabling him to remain independent and active. Embracing resistance training is about empowering yourself to maintain your independence, strength, and vitality for many, many more years to come. We've covered a lot of ground today, peeling back the layers to understand why so many of us don't experience the long, vibrant lives we envision, lives full of purpose and joy well into our later years. We started by exploring the profound impact of social disconnection, that silent killer that subtly erodes our mental and physical health when we lose that vital sense of belonging and community. Then, we shined a light on chronic low-grade inflammation, that hidden internal fire that quietly damages our systems, accelerating the aging process and making us vulnerable to countless health issues. We then moved to the crucial importance of keeping our minds sharp and curious, revealing how giving up on new challenges and learning can lead to faster cognitive decline and a loss of life's spark. From there, we tackled the pervasive myth that poor sleep is just part of aging, highlighting how consistently unrefreshing sleep undermines our energy, memory, and overall well-being, emphasizing the power of reclaiming restful slumber. And finally, we uncovered the often overlooked necessity of maintaining muscle strength beyond just walking, explaining how neglecting resistance training contributes to frailty, falls, and a diminished quality of life. It might feel like a lot to take in. Or perhaps you're thinking, I already do some of that. Or even, I'm too old to start making these kinds of changes. But I want you to know this. With all my heart, every single step, no matter how small, counts. You don't have to overhaul your entire life overnight. And you certainly don't need to be a marathon runner or a gym fanatic. Even tiny, consistent changes, like making one new connection a week, adding a handful of berries to your breakfast, trying one new puzzle, establishing a simple bedtime routine, or doing a few chair squats each day, can create a powerful ripple effect. These small actions build momentum, leading you towards a future where you not only live longer, but you truly live better. Imagine waking up with more energy, feeling stronger in your body, your mind sharper and more engaged, and your heart lighter, truly connected to the world around you. That future isn't just a dream. It's absolutely within your reach, no matter your current age or your starting point. Think of it this way. Your later years aren't meant to be a slow, quiet decline into the background. They are meant to be a vibrant, rich chapter, filled with wisdom, continued joy, and exciting new adventures. You have so much life left to live, so much to contribute to your loved ones and your community, and so much more to experience and discover. It's about choosing to be an active participant in your own longevity, rather than a passive observer. It's about empowering yourself with knowledge and making conscious choices that serve your highest well-being. That build a strong foundation for the decades ahead. You have the power to shape your story, to defy expectations, and to truly live your best life, full of purpose, joy, and health, for many, many more wonderful years to come. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Which of these 5 surprising reasons resonated most with you? Are there any other factors you've noticed that significantly impact how well and how long people live? Share your experiences, your wisdom, and your insights in the comments below. Your perspective helps all of us grow and learn from each other. And if you found this video helpful, if it sparked something within you, if it gave you a new perspective on thriving in your later years, please give it a thumbs up. That really helps us reach more people who can benefit from this empowering message. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our future videos designed to help you live your fullest, most vibrant life at every stage. Remember, age is just a number, but vitality is a choice. Take these insights, apply them, and step into the incredible, vibrant future that truly awaits you. Live your best life at every age